Imagine a world where the pillars of society are based on music, where everything around us, structures, plants, even the source of life itself, was originated from the fine art of melody. Well, you don't have to look too far for it. Symphonia is what you're looking for. The first game by Sunnypeak is here, and today we're going to see if it's worth buying or not. I'm old soul and please consider hitting the like button and subscribe. The game starts with a cutscene. A little backstory. Symphonia was built with the help of its 4 founders who gave birth to everything with their music. They shaped an orchestra and the Symphonia flourished, until a disaster sets them apart. The founders disappear, the orchestra falls, and the world draws into silence. The game starts in decades later, when the history has become a myth. We take the role of one of the founders, Philemon, a great violinist who has been revived in the ruins of a once great concert hall with the task to find a new orchestra and make Symphonia great again. We need to wander around the world and breathe life into the land with our music. Can you name a lovelier way to revive something? The rest of the story is followed in a no-dialogue narrative with murals, stained glass arts, body gestures, guides, and other hidden elements, and of course, music. The gameplay is very straightforward and easy to learn but hard to master. A linear platformer with the purpose of getting past the trap-filled rooms. Using different elements of platforming and playing violin for the phonographs to trigger a door, you need to gather yourself an orchestra. The unique dynamic abilities like bounce, which is a super jump with your violin bow, and the twirling move rely heavily on momentum. By gaining speed, you get immersed in the dynamic gameplay of Symphonia. Is it fun? Yes and no. Yes, because the game uses a vast set of diverse mechanics to not let it be boring. Bounce is so fun to use, and the fact that you have the ability to play classical violin pieces is what sells me this. But it can also be not fun, because some of these mechanics are somewhat broken. For instance, you can jump on these ropes and direct your momentum to reach a higher ground. How do you do that? By jumping in the right moment. Now, it's basic physics that this right moment should be when the rope is pushing your weight upwards. Newton's third law. Not only you can see this in all platformer games, your brain has already mastered it even if you don't know it yourself. But that's not the case for Symphonia. Here, you need to jump when the rope is being pushed down. While on paper it makes the jump easier, your brain doesn't allow you to jump in the wrong moment. The platforming itself is not that hard, but things like this can sometimes make it frustrating. Luckily, there aren't that many broken abilities like this. The art design of Symphonia is absolutely gorgeous. I can wander around for hours in this world without my eyes getting tired. The art style reminds me of my favorite childhood cartoons like Pagemaster, The Tale of Despero, and Treasure Planet. That's because unlike most of new games and new animations, Symphonia doesn't care about complementary and monochrome color palettes. Every single room is a pool of glowing shiny colors that creates a powerful mystery element long absent in most video games, and aims to recreate the romantic period in a hand-drawn side-scroller, which is absolutely brilliant. If music could be drawn and painted, it would definitely look like this, as many elements of Symphonia's board are inspired by the ones present in an opera house, like these cushions and velvet pillows. The best thing about the art design is how immersive it is. You really get lost in these colors and forget how long you have been playing it. Exactly like the old cartoons of our childhood, forgetting about the real world around us. The character design, especially Philemon, is amazing. The way he walks, holding his hands behind him, his stance and his clothes make him look like a strict music teacher. Playing music while he walks and dances is also a nice touch. As for the source of life, music is the peak of Symphonia. The game has an original soundtrack which is played in the background, and Philemon can also perform pieces that sound like classical works. I have to be honest, I'm illiterate in terms of classical music. I know these ones sound like the ones of the Romantic period, but I'm not sure if they're existing pieces or originals. Either way, I love it. It's been said that the music is the source of life in the game, and that's not just a tool for storytelling. As you travel through the land of Symphonia, as you play music in the long dead halls of the world, plants and flowers, mostly orchids, start to blossom, contraptions start to work. It's like the world is waking up. The background music, which is a combination of classical and modern gaming music, also does its job perfectly. Although, it would have been interesting if there was no background music at all, to endorse the fact that Symphonia has fell into silence and further emphasize on Philemon's role as the last source of music. Even if you're not into the world of music, this game makes you fall in love with it. Just watch a few seconds of this amazing performance of a master and his new recruit pupil. Now for the big question. Is it worth it? Depends on you. If you're interested in the world of classical music, if you're into side-scrollers, if you enjoy platforming in the likes of Celeste, then go for it. Otherwise, there are some problems you need to know before buying it. I already mentioned 2 of them in the gameplay section. In terms of theme and world building, after 10 hours, Symphonia gets a little hollow. That's because music is the only source of inspiration here and they bring nothing else to the table. They don't build around it. I hate to compare, but for instance, Nine Souls is inspired by Eastern culture. But that's not the whole identity of the game. They use the elements of Taoism in a subtle way and build narrative around it. But Symphonia doesn't do that. The render of a music world has been done very blatantly. I've encountered a few bugs until now, a few screen freezes, but we can ignore it since the game is extremely new and the first work of Sunny Peak Studio. Here are my ratings to each aspect of the game. If you're looking for a final answer from me, I think Symphonia is worth $20, or you can just wait for the sales. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, hit the like button and subscribe, and as always, don't you dare go hollow.